EVTN News, and at EVTN News, I previously identified as the #1 news source on the internet. Um, Unfortunately, with the new regime change, I can no longer identify as something that I'm not. Um, so I'll just say that EVTN News is potentially the #1 news source on the internet because I didn't do any research on it. I'm not going to, and I don't really watch or follow any news sources, so I don't actually know. Um, but I guess my previous statement, it's possible it could be false. So, um, anyway, wow, what a week. It's I just had to pick out a bunch of news stories and we're going to go through them. Um, and they're coming in fast today as well. And before I get started, though, there was something John Henry Weston from LifeSite News mentioned. So he said that Cardinal Pierre, who is the nuncio to the United States, which is the Vatican ambassador, he names the bishops in the United States basically. He told a taxi driver or someone that there's going to be a rapid fire of bishops being named in the United States. And let me find this. So there are just a handful. Well, not there. There's quite a few open bishop positions. There's no question about that. And let me find this here because there are quite a few spots. So bishops who are already over retirement age are in archdioceses Cincinnati, Detroit, Mobile, Alabama, Kansas City, Omaha, New Orleans, and those are just the bishops who are already over age 75. The archbishops. That's not even counting diocesan bishops for just a regular diocese who are over age 75. So there's got to be a backlog of bishops who will be appointed. Anyway, this is going to be a lot of stories, but let's just get started. Cardinal Joseph Zen has read much criticism of the Luce mascot for the current Jubilee year. The main reason is that the company that produced it had a reputation for having several products that we Catholics should call less than decent. Writing on his blog, he adds that a mascot is considered a bringer of good luck and therefore superstitious, while acknowledging that the current use of the term may have diluted this meaning. He questioned the need for such a figure in an event that is by definition already a great fortune as it commemorates the birth of the Savior. The Cardinal would have preferred that the secularized Vatican bureaucrats would have chosen a heavenly patron instead of a mascot. And I was wondering, why didn't anyone in the Vatican think of that? And then I realized, oh, you have to be Catholic to think about naming a patron saint. So, okay. All right. Let's move on. Auxiliary Bishop Luger Scheppers of Essen, Germany, has criticized Donald Trump for accepting the natural order of biology. Trump removes the protection here. So here's the quote. Trump removes the protection against discrimination for LMNOP people and no longer recognizes gender minorities, the bishop said. He said every attack on the rights of LMNOP people threatens the rights of all people who do not conform to the narrow ideas of how one should look and behave. So this bishop is not a Catholic bishop. He is a bishop of, I don't know, some kind of LMNOP rainbow cult. So, not really surprising coming from a German bishops, but anyway, got a lot of LMNOP stories here, but not all are bad. Um, okay, the way that we have treated our LMNOP brothers and sisters has brought them tears and too much of us disgrace. LMNOP activist Wilton Gregory, the retired Cardinal of Washington and enemy of the Latin Mass, said at Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Washington, D.C. on December 22nd, the approximately 1,600 word text uses the first person singular pronoun I 32 times and the frequent use of the pronouns my, we, our, etc. Cardinal Gregory reflected on his many moments of doubt in his faith. He said, I have been ashamed because of the flawed example that we Catholics have given to the world because of our increasingly harsh treatment of one another, rejecting people because of race, gender, sexual orientation, ethnic origins, and other distinctions. Then pro-LMNOP Cardinal Gregory condemns himself. He said, there is no room for religious bigotry that is largely fueled by a lack of knowledge and ignorance on the part of peoples who may call themselves religious but whose behavior violates the basic tenets of the most great faith traditions of the world. Yeah, that's definitely weird because he needs to look in the mirror when he said that. He also said the way we have treated our LMNOP brothers and sisters has brought them to tears and too many of us disgrace. I apologize not only for those whose past actions have scandalized and wounded these men and women. What about the others? Not just men and women, anyway. He said, I apologize for my own lack of courage to bring healing and hope, and I ask forgiveness. So, okay, that's kind of sad, but not unexpected from Gregory. Okay. Okay, nearly 150 Catholic hospitals in the United States provided children with hormone therapy or performed gender transition surgeries on them between 2019 and 2023. In all, more than 520 minors received treatments in Catholic hospitals in about 40 states over the 5-year period. An analysis of the data from Do No Harm by EWTN News shows, and those are going to be targeted very strictly by restrictions from Trump. So that's what we voted for. On a sad note, Bishop Richard Williamson died today at the age of 84. Today, well, that would have been last week. At the age of 84 in a British hospital surrounded by close friends and clergy following unexpected brain hemorrhage, His Excellency was administered last rites by an assistant priest at his residence in Broadstairs, England, immediately after the incident. He is the second of 4 bishops of the SSPX to die after Bishop Bernard Tissier de Malaray passed away last year at the age of 79. Now, Williamson's legacy will be unfortunately overshadowed by certain things where he got into kind of a debate with the society, and I think they expelled him for doing consecrations without their permission or something, or not consecrations, confirmations, sorry, without their permission. Just unfortunate disputes, and it would be nice to kind of see them united, fighting modernism, but there's some fractures there, and people that haven't really paid any attention to him will kind of dismiss him as someone who had some comments taken out of context. He questioned so-called historical events, and it was he didn't question that they happened. He questioned the statistics, and people kind of use that against him. But if you've ever listened to anything he said, he's said in pretty much every conversation that I've listened to him, he said he encouraged everyone to pray all 3 decades of the Rosary every day. Not, I certainly don't. I certainly can't say that I do, but if he's promoting that, then you'd have to follow the logical conclusion that he was doing that, and that certainly means that our prayers for his soul, may be effective, I guess. So yeah, rest in peace, Bishop Williamson. Listen to some of the things he had to say. Not everything is terrible, like some of the people will spin it. Anyway, all right, moving on. Tulsi Gabbard, the Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence, said the FBI abused its power by labeling Catholics who prefer the Latin Mass as radical traditionalist Catholics. Meanwhile, John the Son of Thunder, a random lay guy on YouTube, said the Francis Church abused its power by labeling Catholics who prefer the Latin Mass as radical traditionalist Catholics. What is the difference between the FBI and the Francis Church? The FBI, has more power behind the scenes. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So the Francis Church and the FBI targeted Latin Mass Catholics, and Tulsi, who's not even a Catholic, can see this. I don't even think she's a Christian. Anyway, moving along. The FSSP is renewing its novena and consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary in the midst of the Vatican's apostolic visitation happening now, at least from what I understand. At least it happened previously. So I don't have any information on that. I do believe that the visitation is in Europe. I think their seminary is in one of their seminaries is in Germany, and I didn't hear anything about the United States, so I don't know that that's happening in the United States. But considering the department who investigates who carries out these apostolic visitations I think there was a woman, a bus nun, who was appointed to supposedly lead this visit to this dicastery. I did hear that she wasn't a fan of tradition, but she does wear a habit, which is surprising for the Francis Church, because they seem to like bus nuns. Anyway, yeah, so basically the result of the visitation, there could be a lot of different results. So the FSSP could get cracked down on, or nothing could happen, or there's many different possibilities of what will happen with this, but you can't really. I don't have any expectations on that. I mean, I'm not optimistic about it. Certainly not. But it could be nothing. So I wouldn't get I wouldn't get extremely upset about what's happening until something actually happens, and then, which if it does, then let's hope that the FSSP fights back. But again, we have to cross that bridge first before that actually happens. Okay, so in Argentina, there's something interesting that happened. LMNOP groups organized a march in Buenos Aires on February 1st to attack President Javier Milei's speech in Davos, where he associated LMNOPs with pedophilia and dismantled gender ideology. Second march of LMNOP propagandists with the same purpose was organized in Mendoza, 1,000 kilometers west of Buenos Aires. Marcelo Colombo, the leader of the Archdiocese of Mendoza, promoted and supported this event on January 30th, a text of the Archdiocese's pastoral on sexual diversity attacked pro-family policies as manifestations of hatred. So it said, this Archbishop, said, Pope Francis invites us to build a church that is a home for all and a field hospital, a place where all people, especially those who suffer and are marginalized, find welcome and love. The Archdiocese joins the march ostensibly in a defense of the freedom and dignity of groups and individuals fighting for a more just and egalitarian world. So they joined an LMNOP march. That's I don't know. That's kind of the sad parody that the Francis Church has become. Okay, and then I just saw recently the Jesuits, the Superior General of the Jesuits, Father Sosa, has convoked a meeting of all Jesuit major superiors to be held in Rome in this October to discuss various topics, such as their life and mission, the vow of poverty, sexual abuse in their communities, the role of women in their apostolate. So they may look into admitting women to their apostolate, and maybe they'll try to push them through as seminarians. Who knows? But you know, there's certainly the Jesuits certainly do not lack in effeminacy. So that will be kind of funny to see. Not that I don't know. Not that anything will come of it, but anyway. I apologize. I'm getting a call. But hold on one second. Okay. And I'm trying to see. I don't think there's anything else. So, all right. Well, this has been EVTN News. Hold on one second. Okay. So, okay, just give me 1 second here. And all right. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.